guys, we are down here at the Bellagio of Drag Strips at ZMAX in Concord, North Carolina. With all the fans, all the racers, we're geared up and we're kicking it live right here. Stay tuned, we're gonna get wild. Guys, we are here at the Bellagio Drag Strips right here at Concord, North Carolina at ZMAX. And with me, I have the driver of the Patron Tequila, dragster, Miss Alexis DeJoria. Alexis, glad to have you with us.
Thanks for having me.
I understand here that you guys got rained out yesterday, so everybody's going to be starting equal today.
Yeah, the weather was pretty bad yesterday. We went up to the lanes and we got turned around, and then finally they canceled us. There was tornado warnings and all sorts of stuff. So, yeah, we're starting fresh today. We get 2 runs at it, and we'll see what happens.
Now, how's the season coming so far?
It's been good. You know, we're chipping away at it. I think every race we're getting better. We finally got a really good baseline, and we're starting to see consistencies in our runs. We moved up in points.
So it's going to be a good battle today then.
It'll be fun. You know, it's real cool weather, but the sun's shining, so we might see some pretty fast runs, and I hope that we're one of them.
Excellent. Guys, you're going to want to stay tuned. We are coming to you from the Bellagio Drag Strips at ZMAX in Concord with the driver, Alexis DeJoria of Patron Tequila. I'm standing here with another member of the Coletta Motorsports, David Grumpy Grudnick. David, glad to have you with us.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for being on the show.
Now, I understand qualifying got rained out yesterday, so everybody's going to get, what, 2 passes today?
Yes, that it puts us a little bit behind the 8 ball, obviously. We lose 2 sessions. The other concern is that the conditions are so good that it really warrants us taking the risk of getting after it and setting the car up to run like low ET or in the 70s. However, that also brings a risk of smoking the tyres. So it's going to be a difficult day for the crew chiefs. They're going to have to try and balance that running low ET and at the same time getting the car qualified.
Now, it's early in the season, but how's your season coming together so far?
It's okay. You know, we've had our ups and downs, and obviously everybody has those. But regardless of how early we are in the season or where we're at, right now, we've been in so many of these last-minute dashes to get into the countdown that we're grabbing every possible point we can, because we know when it comes to Indy that we need every point to get into that countdown.
Now, coming to you from the Bellagio Drag Strips here at the 4-lane concrete, how is it on a driver's point of view to get that car to hook with that kind of horsepower?
Well, from a driver's standpoint, we obviously have no control over that. Once we hit the throttle, once the throttle goes wide open, there's a switch underneath the throttle pedal that triggers all the management systems. So the crew chiefs and the tuners set the car up. So it's going to be tough for them. As I said earlier, they're going to have to balance taking advantage of these great conditions, but also at the same time get the car qualified since we lost 2 sessions.
Guys, you're going to want to stay tuned. These guys here are beyond fast, and David here is one of the prime guys that knows how to get down that track. Stay tuned on Cruise Control, guys. Guys, I'm here with another member of the Coletta Motorsports Top Fuel team. I have got Mr. Dale Worsham with it. Dale, glad to have you with us today.
Thank you, guys. Cool.
Now, listen, I understand qualifying was rained out yesterday, so how far behind the 8 ball are you guys today?
Well, I mean, we're all behind the 2 runs that we would have got yesterday, especially when you're racing 4 wide. You know, you're definitely not going to run in every lane you could possibly race in tomorrow, so that's a bit of a problem. But the great thing about drag racing is the same for everybody, so we're not the only ones behind. We're all kind of starting in the same spot here, and again, you know, the big thing about here is there's a pretty good chance on Sunday you go race in a lane you didn't get a chance to even practice in.
So therefore, fans, you want to stay tuned, because guys like Dell are going to have their hands full out here on 4 lanes wide in a concrete track. Tell the fans how much horsepower that car really pushes.
It pushes 10,000 horsepower. It really does. The guys from Toyota came to me and they thought it was a fictional made-up number, and once they got done calculating it, they said, "You're right. You're right there."
And guys, it gets no truer than 10,000 horsepower, 4 lanes wide. That's 40,000 horsepower cranking down. ZMAX. Stay tuned. And I have managed to capture one of the fastest guys on the track, the legendary Doug Foley. Doug, we're so glad to have you again with us.
Hey, no problem. You guys at Cruise Control, we always appreciate it.
Now, we understand qualifying was rained out yesterday, so you guys are starting behind the 8 ball. 2 less runs today?
2 less runs. You know, it's the same for everybody. There's like 20 top fuel cars here this weekend, so there's a few guys going home, and you know, we're hoping to get a couple good runs in today and get solidly in the show.
Now, we understand here at the 4 Wide Nationals on a concrete track, it's a little different for the drivers. Can you tell the fans just how much different it is to hold that on concrete versus asphalt?
There's a little better grip out there the whole way. But yeah, this place is super smooth. This is the marquee of facilities that we run at. So you know, it's with my car, I mean, that thing is just blazing down the middle of the lane most of the time. So it's kind of hard to tell, but it's definitely better grip for everybody on the concrete.
Now, personally as a driver, what would be one of your favorite tracks to come to?
I always say it's the last place I want at. So, but no, any of the Bruton Smith facilities, you know, they're state of the art, and we obviously appreciate you know, the opportunity to have somebody like Bruton and his team of people that go around and fix these places up. So. But yeah, so Denver is the last place I want, and hopefully I can add this place to it after this weekend.
Well, we look forward, Doug, to seeing you go down the track today and letting that horsepower go wild.
All right.
Thanks again, Doug.
All right, thanks a lot.
Guys, I have managed to get my hands on one of the fastest guys out here on the track, Fast Jack Beckman. Jack, we're so glad to have you back with us again this year.
Yeah, it's been an interesting weekend so far here at ZMAX. We sat around yesterday kind of chomping at the bit because conditions look great. Just as we pull up to the lanes, it starts pouring. It's cool out today, and even though the sun's out, I think the track's going to be fantastic and fast.
Now, a lot of the fans don't understand exactly how much horsepower is out here. Give them just an idea of what they're looking at.
You know, it's funny. I always tell people, I said, if you were at a restaurant and a guy next to you was describing nitro cars, you'd think he was having a little too much of the free beer there, because the numbers don't make sense. They're 10,000 horsepower. And people that are skeptical, I said, you can call it whatever number you want. That car weighs almost 2,700 pounds when we fire it up for the burnout. It goes from a standing start to 320 miles an hour in 3.98 seconds in less than 1,000 feet. It's a huge number. It's astronomical.
Now, a lot of the fans out here, they actually get a chance to come up and meet the drivers and everything. We know you're one of the very friendly drivers that really enjoy getting out there with the fans and everything else. Overall, how would you rate your experiences at ZMAX?
Well, I love this place. ZMAX has been very, very good to me, man. We won the inaugural race here, and I was fortunate enough to win one of the 4 wides. There's only been 3 contested so far, so 2 of my favorite trophies are from this racetrack, and I hope to say 3 by the end of this weekend.
And we're going to be pulling for you, Jack. Congratulations.
Thanks,
we'll be pulling you all day today.
Appreciate it. Take care, guys.
I'm John Force, 15-time funny car champ, and you're watching Cruise Control TV.com. Or you didn't want the .com.
And we'll be right back, folks.
Cut.
And Vince, let's go to Ted's. I'm starving. And how would you describe that burger?
It's Ted-delicious.
And how are these wings?
They're Ted-delicious.
And how would you describe that sandwich?
It's Ted-delicious.
Ted, what is this Ted-delicious everybody's telling me about?
Well, man, it's kind of hard to describe. You have to taste it for yourself.
Ted's Burgers and Wings. Come taste what Ted-delicious is. Now you see it, now you don't. No, it's not magic. It's all lit up customs. Graphics always look great, but with the twist All Lit Up Customs gives them, they go from great to awesome with a flip of a switch. They can do graphics on almost any paint surface. All Lit Up Customs is also your place for custom halo lights. Call Wade or Lori at 704-660-0102. Or come see them on the web at allitupcustoms.com. You can also find them on Facebook at All Lit Up Customs. All Lit Up Customs, when looking good is just not good enough.
Need parts for restoration? Can't find what you need for your classic? Look no further. It's at Carolina Salvage in Rock Hill. Complete cars, engines, transmissions, and so much more. If you want to pull it yourself, visit Carolina U Pull It next door. AC compressors as low as $34.95. Water pumps as low as $7.25. Car guys, it's in Rock Hill at Carolina Salvage and Carolina U Pull It. Call 1-800-845-7098. 234 Porter Road, Rock Hill.
Managed to capture my hands on one of my personal favorite drivers, Mr. Ron Capps. Ron, we are so glad to have you with us again today.
Well, it's good to be here. I appreciate it.
Now, listen, we were at the softball game. Man, you got to tell the fans just exactly what you boys did to them NASCAR guys.
Well, we were serious, man. I mean, I know for a fact. I mean, we whooped them. We beat them bad, 19-5. And I've already heard that a lot of the guys that played in the game went to Texas, and they've already got a team they're forming for the next game, and we may have the game here before the fall race, but they're already wanting a rematch. So it was fun. I was nervous, man. I couldn't believe how nervous I was just getting up and playing in front of those people, but it was a fun time.
Now listen, looking ahead, I know yesterday was rained out up here. How far behind the 8 ball does that put you guys now?
Well, not too bad. I mean, it still can, and it can be very stressful. We don't have the provisionals that NASCAR has, so you're not guaranteed a spot on Sunday. I'm not. John Forrest, I don't care who you are, you're still you got to make the show. So it puts everybody a little bit on edge, because you just don't know what the weather's going to be like. You don't know what the track's going to be like since it rained yesterday. So you really kind of have to go up there and see how aggressive you can be without being too aggressive. As a driver, you got to be on your game to pedal it if you need to, so you're not going into the last session not in the show. But with Ron Toller, all the Napa guys I have around me, I have all the confidence in the world that I don't have to pedal it, and I hope I don't have to. And these conditions we have right now are record-setting conditions, so you never know. There could be another sub-4 second run.
Now, coming from a driver's point of view, coming from asphalt to the 4 wide here at the Bellagio of drag strips on concrete, for the driver, how is it different?
Well, you just know that it's a good track you're going to be on, and you know that when the safety safari gets here to prep it from NHRA, that they do every event, they don't have to work as hard when it comes to this track. It's pretty well prepped when they get here, and anything they do is going to just make it better. So coming here, I love coming here, man. Any track we go to, any Bruton Smith track, is one of the top favorites in my mind when I'm asked. The Bristol's, the Sonoma is my absolute favorite track, and this one's a close second because it's just a fabulous track. Everything they've done here is first class, and I'm not just talking about the track itself. I'm talking about all the amenities. A guy can bring his girlfriend or wife and know that there's nice restrooms. It's just a nice place to come. So it translates into us wanting to be here and us trying to run good for the fans.
Now, fans, you heard it right from Ron Capps. It doesn't get any truer. This is a great place to bring the family. It's very fan-orientated. You get to get up and close and personal with the drivers, talk to them, sign autographs with them, get the kids, get the wife, get in the car, and get to the 4 wide nationals. Guys, and we are back at ZMAX at the Bellagio of drag strips right here at the 4 wide nationals. And I've got with me Miss Brittany Force. Brittany, how are we doing today?
Great, thank you.
How's the car running today?
Pretty good. We ended up number 8, so I'm happy. We only get 1 more today, but we're going to see what we can do.
How's the car hooking up on this kind of weather?
Pretty good. It shook a little, but it went straight down there, A to B, so we were happy.
Excellent. Now, where are you guys heading to after this?
We are going to, where are we going? Houston. Dallas? Houston or Dallas? One of them.
And you'll be heading to Houston after this one?
Yep, going to Houston.
And what kind of times are we running today?
Well, I ran an 83. There's some guys running in the 70s, so we're just going to try to improve a little bit, and we'll see what happens.
Now, was there any disadvantage with qualifying being rained out yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, it's a disadvantage for all of us. Just we don't get, we lost 2 more runs of going down the track and seeing what the car could do in the conditions, but also for me as a driver with the whole staging with the 4-lane, I missed out on that, which I really would have liked, but we'll make it work.
Well, we're going to be rooting for you. Congratulations, Brittany, and good luck today.
Thank you so much.
Guys, and believe it or not, I have actually managed to slow down one of the fastest ladies in a funny car, Miss Courtney Force. Courtney, we're so glad to have you back with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me back. It's good to be here in, Charlotte, North Carolina.
Now listen, I understand qualifying's rained out yesterday, so does that put you at a disadvantage coming into today?
I mean, yeah, it kind of puts everyone at a disadvantage. Everyone only gets to try out 2 of the lanes rather than all 4. And I mean, it's just the way it is. The weather, that's always an issue every once in a while, and it just happened to be yesterday. But that's okay. We're coming out here today, and I think you're going to see a lot better, even better racing. Guys that are going to go out there and they're going to really be trying hard to get these cars qualified.
Now, on a side note, we were at the charity softball game. And I'm going to tell you, you must be the best cheerleader in the world because you NHRA guys wore them NASCAR guys out. What was the secret?
I don't know. I was just out there for support. I thought it was amazing that the NASCAR guys came out and, joined up with the NHRA guys and girls, for a good cause. It was for a charity, and it was pretty fun. It was awesome to be a part of it and, be able to – I was just going to be the cheerleader of the softball game. I don't know how I got sucked into going up to bat, but
Excellent. Guys, we're going to let her go because this woman is built to run, and she's ready to tear up the 4-wide National. Good luck today, Courtney.
Thank you very much.
Guys, and we are back here at the Bellagio drag strips with the 17-time champ, Mr. John Force. John, glad to have you back again.
Well, I'm 15-time, but we got 17 overall, so as a team owner, pretty excited about it. And this 4-wide something, Bruton Smith built quite the deal here. The Bellagio, they call it a racetracks, but that old light out there and bulbs going anywhere, but I've won it, so maybe I can do it again.
Now, with the qualifying being rained out yesterday, does that put you at a disadvantage?
It gives you 2 runs to put it in. My daughter's Castle Edge top fuel car went down. She's 8th, so she looks pretty good for staying in the show. She's up, because if anything goes wrong, you're going home. So right now we got all the funny cars in, all 3 of them, and I ran 03. My car's running good, but yeah, now we got a chance. We can open up. I can let it fly, but Robert and Courtney, they got to make sure they stay in the show.
John, we know you're busy. We're not going to hold you up. Thank you so much for being part of Cruise Control.
Thanks for having me on. Cruise Control, love your show.
Guys, it's been an exhilarating day out here at the Bellagio at Drag Strips in Concord, North Carolina. We're with some friends, some fans, some Mustang addicts. Come out, join us, have a blast. We'll be here. Come see us.
Hey, this is Fast Jack Beckman, driver of the world record holding Valvoline Dodge Charger, and you're watching Cruise Control TV.
Looking for a great place where the beer is cold and the food is great? It's right here at Iron Thunder Saloon and Grill. Get your meal kick-started with our Iker Caviar, O-Rings, or famous Thunder Thighs. From crab cakes to chicken wings, we have it all. We even boast the biggest breasts in town. And all served by the beautiful Thunder Girls. Come check out our bike night on Thursdays, karaoke on Fridays, and live entertainment on Saturdays. Oh yeah, did we mention our beautiful Thunder Girls? So go to IronThunderSaloon.com for the location near you. Iron Thunder Saloon and Grill. If you're not here, you're nowhere. Remember when food was fresh and service came with a smile? Well, those days are back at Highway 55. Come into Highway 55 for the best burgers, cheesesteaks, wings, hot dogs, and much, much more. Come in and try our homemade soft serve ice cream. Try our Big A Challenge. It's a 50-ounce hamburger with all the trimmings. If you can eat it all, it's free. So come on into Highway 55, where great food and friendly service is not a thing of the past.
You have transmission problems? Bench-built transmissions of Kannapolis can repair any transmission, including automatic and straight drive. They also repair rear differentials and clutches. Over 30 years experience in the business, they know how to do it right and do it right the first time. They're located on Highway 29 in Kannapolis, just a short distance from Concord or China Grove.
Bench-built transmissions is knocking out the competition.
So if you're having transmission problems, come see Chuck and all the gang at Bench Built Transmissions, 704-933-8727.
This segment brought to you by, for service and integrity since 1976, it's the National Parts Depot. Visit online, npdlink.com. Order today.
For all your radio and communication needs, go to racingelectronics.com.
We use Quantum Towing for all our towing needs. Call 980-328-4160. Iron Thunder Saloon. Find out why it's become the locals' favorite.
Guys, we are back and we have got a special treat for you here today. We are up in Mooresville, North Carolina. And to my right, I have Mr. Doug Foley with the Doug Foley Driving School Experience. Doug, glad to have you with us today.
Thanks for being here.
Doug, now, a lot of the fans out there, they always like that insight on the drivers and stuff. Give everybody a little bit of background on your drag racing history.
Well, I started back about 20 years ago, and just really have, started in the sportsman ranks, where we just got the opportunity to go out there and take a car that I built at my house and go out to some of the local drag strips. At that point, I lived in the Northeast. I was born in the Bronx and lived in New York, and went to some of those racetracks there, and really just, got out there, learned about the sport, and slowly, unfortunately, most people will learn about this sport if it gets in your blood. It's going to be there.
It never gets out, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Now, listen, how long have you had the driving school here now?
We started in '97, and started in the Northeast, and then slowly kept making our way south. We knew that North Carolina is the place for motorsports.
It is the hub of motorsports.
Absolutely is. You know, I mean, I enjoy the Northeast, but if you're in motorsports, you don't get a very good percentage of coverage for this sport. It's all stick and ball. When you come down here, it kind of turns the tables on you.
Yeah, it does. We love our racing in the South.
You do.
Now listen, how many different classes are you running in this driving school now?
We teach anybody from 8 years old up. We offer a full junior dragster program where kids, families can come and kids can learn how to drive a junior dragster, all the way up to, 60, 70 years old. People who have been watching the sport and want to go out and get licensed. They want to either drive an experienced car or ride in a two-seater.
Yeah, this is something impressive. Folks, you got to make sure that you get in touch with Doug, because I cannot tell you, we had a chance at ZMAX with the John Force's daughters to actually experience these cars with the wives, and it was a lot of fun, guys. Now also keep in mind, Doug, you've got a brand new company that's on board with the driving school this year, don't you?
We do. We always work hard to interest different companies to come in and support our program, and Odyssey came on this year, and we've been working great together over the last several months. We now have all of our vehicles. We have 14 cars in the school. All of them are powered by Odyssey batteries, and it's been really a beginning of a great relationship.
And see, we're actually familiar with Odyssey ourselves, because the Cruise Control Xtreme cars runs on these Odyssey batteries too, and we love them. So I know in the drag racing sense, they really hold up over the long term.
Well, you definitely do. If you ever want to know what type of product really works in motorsports, you need to come to like one of our schools, or a Richard Petty or somebody like that who is running this equipment like a New York City taxi cab. And we just beat this stuff up, and we expect it to last through the day and through the week and all of that. And I got to say, when we've switched over to their power plants, it's just been a great experience for us.
Now, what has actually brought about you putting together this kind of drag racing school?
Back in like 2001, 2, around there, we had the school was progressing. We were doing licensing and NHRA and IHRA certifications and all of that. It just wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to grow a family business on. So slowly we started to create what we considered our entertainment division, which is our dragster experience style cars, where you see here on the Cook's Headers car and our new version car there, where we give people the opportunity who are grandstand great fans. They love the sport. They love John Force. They love smelling the nitro, but they want to get the opportunity to just do it themselves. Drive on the same starting line that John Force drove the day before. And so whether it's a ride along or a drive, they can get that experience. 130 mile an hour driving, 150 mile an hour riding along, 0 to 100 miles an hour in just seconds. And most people don't get that opportunity. And there wasn't that opportunity in drag racing until we brought this division up.
Now, Doug, all the fans like to know in the interviews we hold, every driver has one special win that means the most to them. What is yours?
I was fortunate enough to go pro in 2004 with Top Fuel, and we kind of struggled a little bit in the beginning, but we kind of hit our stride mid-season, which nobody really expected out of a rookie driver. And all of a sudden we find ourselves in the finals at MIR against Clay Milliken, who was at that point 5, 6, 7-time world champ, whatever he was. And there was actually an oil down right in front of us. And I never get out of my car. Got out of my car, and we're sitting there talking, and they approach me, and we're kind of talking, which is kind of unusual beforehand. He goes, "You nervous?" And I said, "What would I be nervous about?" He goes, "Well, you get to race the 6-time world champion." I said, "But you don't understand it. It's kind of the other way around." I said, "If I lose, that's what they expected. If I win, you're looking pretty dumb." And I think I got in their head, and I really didn't mean to. I was just speaking logic. And sure enough, we went out there. I go 71 to his 72. He backpedals the car thinking he can do that, and we beat him.
Wow.
And that was pretty fun. It was a good time for us.
I can imagine it was. Now listen, I noticed we've got the side-by-side dragster here. I see these brand new rails over here, and I even noticed we have mini dragsters and a door slammer back here. You've got a little bit of everything, don't you, Doug?
We do. I mean, everybody, when we moved down North Carolina, this is door car country. I love dragsters, but They love fast door cars. So we make sure that we have a variety for everybody. The people who just want to take a ride and let one of our instructors drive it. The dragster experience where they get to drive it and we don't have to worry about licensing. We keep it right at that point where we don't have to worry about that. 10 seconds, 130 mile an hour, literally just a 4-hour course. The door cars where you can come down and get certified up to 750 in a door car. Super comp cars. So junior dragsters, you name it, we got it.
Man, guys, I'm telling you, make sure to go to Doug Foley's website. Guys, if you want to get your hands on something with this much horsepower, call Doug. If you want to learn how to race something with this much horsepower, call Doug. And if you want to make sure the car starts, call Odyssey, guys.
Looking for a great place where the beer is cold and the food is great? It's right here at Iron Thunder Saloon and Grill. Get your meal kick-started with our biker caviar, O-rings, or famous Thunder Thighs. From crab cakes to chicken wings, we have it all. We even boast the biggest breasts in town. And all served by the beautiful Thunder Girls. Come check out our bike night on Thursdays, karaoke on Fridays, and live entertainment on Saturdays. Oh yeah, did we mention our beautiful Thunder Girls? So go to IronThunderSaloon.com for the location near you. Iron Thunder Saloon and Grill. If you're not here, you're nowhere.
And we'll be right back, folks.
Cut.
And Vince, let's go to Ted's. I'm starving. And how would you describe that burger?
It's Ted-alicious.
And how are these wings?
They're Ted-alicious.
And how would you describe that sandwich?
It's Ted-alicious.
Ted, what is this Ted-alicious everybody's telling me about?
Well, man, it's kind of hard to describe. You have to taste it for yourself.
Ted's Burgers and Wings. Come taste what Ted-alicious is. Now you see it, now you don't. No, it's not magic. It's all lit up customs. Graphics always look great, but with the twist all lit up customs gives them, they go from great to awesome with a flip of a switch. They can do graphics on almost any paint surface. All Lit Up Customs is also your place for custom halo lights. Call Wade or Lori at 704-660-0102. Or come see them on the web at allitupcustoms.com. You can also find them on Facebook at All Lit Up Customs. All Lit Up Customs, when looking good is just not good enough.